Hey, Scott here with Seaman Custom Builds. This video I'm going to review the Bosch RA1181 router table, but with a little different twist. I plan to put it on the wing of my table saw. The measurements are right, so that is the plan. One concern is a lot of reviews talk about the table not being flat. So that will be the first thing I check before I take apart the setup I'm using now, but hopefully that's all good, and then I'll show how I assemble it onto this Laguna table saw. So here we go. So that slides out of the box really easily. That's looking pretty flat without the insert. That'll be the other thing to check, but I think we're good to go. So I'll remove my existing plywood mount and see how we get this thing put in. This was attached with a couple bolts at the outer edges and then a few screws through the table saw wing. So pretty easy to remove. Alright, so with that out, I can try fitting the new one and then we'll go from there. Alright, so width is perfect. We just gotta figure out how to mount it. Alright, so I went and picked up some 5/16 bolts. So they'll fit in this slot on this side to bolt this on. I'll have to drill a couple holes on that side. So let's put these in here. And then mark with a Sharpie so I can drill some holes for the other side. I used a 1/2-inch drill bit, that way I'd have a little wiggle room to adjust the tabletop before bolting down. Alright, so I'm clamping on a straight edge to get it flush. I think that works best, and then tighten these bolts down and drill a couple more holes. I'll do the same thing for the other side. All right, the other part to make this work is the mounting plate. And so that I still have my base for the router if it's out of here, I picked up the Bosch Undermount router base that allows you to make adjustments from the top. So let's put this on. So I got the rotation, and actually what works best is the adjustment screw. Goes dead center, and then the other 3 screws should line up. Like that. All right, with the fixed base mounted to the insert, I now have the Bosch 1617 2¼ horsepower router that I'm going to use pretty much dedicated for this setup. So to point out, this comes with basically the same base, except I want it to be able to have it to use by hand as well without having to take this mount off. So you could save yourself a few bucks. So to remove it from the fixed base, we pop that open, Push that thumb down and she slides out. So there we go. I've got around $300. I've got a new router set up, dedicated. Get this thing shimmed out, figure out what I'm gonna do for fencing, but I'm a fan. So now I'll work on getting all the accessories assembled, the fence, the remote switch, and all that put together. To mount the switch, I use the screws and captive nuts that are provided, and they slide into slots on the tabletop. This router table comes with a really nice aluminum fence. Here I'm adding the dust collection port, and then the two adjustable fence sections on the front. And now the clear adjustable shield. To level the router base plate, there are 8 screws and locking nuts that fit into the tabletop, and this allows you to raise and lower with an Allen wrench to get it nice and flat. With the adjustment screws in place, I can drop the base plate back in and make my final adjustments. The fence attaches with 2 bolts from underneath with adjustment knobs up top. This will make it easy to adjust the fence or also remove it when I don't need it. And a quick test to see how easy it is to adjust the height of this slot cutter bit. Perfect. So hopefully you found this video helpful on how I mounted this Bosch router table to my Laguna cabinet style table saw. That 27-inch width is fairly standard. For the money, I know this isn't as fancy as some of the whole router lift systems, but big upgrade from what I had. So hope this gives you some ideas. Hope it's helpful. Drop some comments down below if you have any feedback. Maybe you have some experience with this or questions. Thanks.